Welcome everybody to this installment of Dad's on Wrestling. I, of course, am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
And you're watching this on the Jeff Meacham YouTube channel, so that must make me Jeff Meacham.
You are the hologram of Jeff Meacham. Just like Coachella had the hologram of Tupac a few years ago.
That's true. Jeff is over there sleeping.
Yes. This is his hologram.
I'm not really here.
Now we gotta have you start glitching at some point to really sell it.
That's some serious editing right there, Jay. You want to get involved in that shit? You want to get involved in that?
And we are here today to kind of piggyback off of WrestleMania here. We got a lot of people wanting to know about our future Hall of Famers, who we'd have in the Hall of Fame,
that came up
who
a
we'd
lot.
take out of the Hall of Fame to put somebody else in.
Yeah, that came up a lot on Twitter. A lot.
So, you know, granted the Hall of Fame has been almost a complete month and a half past now, depending on when this episode actually goes up.
Right.
But we need to address this topic. I forget who submitted it. I apologize. But like I said, there were a bunch of y'all. So 2 or 3 of y'all should at least be getting credit for this.
That's right. And we'll give you the credit down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If I can find it, it'll be in the description on YouTube when I upload it.
There you go.
But we are here to discuss 10 people that we would put in the Hall of Fame that aren't already in there. And,
people or groups.
Yeah. And Jeff came up with his people, and I told him my list, and he was like, you know what? You've got enough of the people that I want in there. I'm just going to co-sign onto your list.
With one
exception.
And
just like on the 20 Superstars we released one.
And I will out you on that one right now, because you had brought up Ted Turner.
Yes.
Being inducted by Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
And had you not omitted the people I put in there instead, I'd be down for that. But I think the person I put in there deserves it more. But I honestly think there's still such a dislike from Vince McMahon toward Ted Turner for trying to run his company out of business. Mm-hmm. And granted, Bischoff did that more than Ted Turner did.
It was Ted's money. It was Bischoff's determination and business
savvy, for lack of a better term. Yeah. But Ted bought Crockett specifically to compete and bury Vince. And I think that still lingers.
I think he bought it to compete with Vince. I don't think Ted's intention was ever to bury. I think Bischoff was so competition heavy because Ted kept coming to Bischoff. What can we do to compete
with Vince? Yeah.
He never wanted to put Vince out of business. That was Bischoff's drive and determination.
Okay.
And Vince forgave Bischoff enough that he gave him a fucking job for 3-4 years, however long it was.
Whatever it was.
So,
yeah. Okay. Well.
So I will then use Ted Turner for my who would I take one out and put in? Mm-hmm. Since Ted would have to be in the celebrity wing because he was never really an active competitor.
Okay.
And he wasn't a Crockett type business owner promotion where he was rooted in wrestling.
Right.
I would take Drew Carey out and put Ted Turner in.
Okay, well, I say we take Drew Carey out anyway, so that's fine.
So that would be you wanted to take Coco Beware out. I forget who you wanted to put in his place. Do you want to put one of the ones I omitted from this list in there? Put Root in there instead of Coco?
I think I put Honky in over Coco because Honky inducted Coco. It's like, what the fuck does that make sense?
Okay.
So
that answers that part of the question, and those are both names that were omitted from our 10 list.
Yes.
I would take out Drew Carey, put Ted Turner in there. He would take out Coco and put in Honky. Now, the 10 we have that we
cemented. Yes.
Should I work from 10 to 1 or from 1 to 10?
Up to you.
All right, I'll go from 10.
But I don't care.
I'll go from 10 to 1 then.
Okay.
Number 10 for the celebrity wing, Andy Kaufman to be inducted by Jerry Lawler.
And who accepts for him now? Len Margulies? Somebody from Kaufman's family, like immediate family, like his parents or
possibly,
something?
Yeah.
Bob Zamuda.
Yeah, there you go. Bob
Zamuda. Jesus.
I was trying to think of his name.
Yeah, Zamuda. Bob Zamuda. There you go. Okay.
Granted, Kaufman never really competed in WWE, but there's a few other people in the Hall of Fame that haven't really either. But that was the first big outside celebrity gimmick to invade the wrestling world.
Yeah.
Lawler Kaufman.
There you go.
So much so that it was a fucking movie with Jim Carrey. Maybe Jim and Zamuda could have
Or maybe if they can't get Zamuda because Zamuda's so mysterious in the first place.
Have Jim accepted as Andy.
Maybe.
That would be fucking great.
I was also thinking Letterman, since he's going to be retiring soon. Maybe bring him out of retirement and bring him back on TV for a night to have, because he was a major part of that.
Yeah.
Major part of that.
Number 9, we'll put his replacement in because that's where I had Ted Turner. Go ahead.
The Fabulous Freebirds to be inducted by Kevin Von Erich. And again, you can't induct the Freebirds without without the Von Erichs. You can't induct the Von Erichs without the Freebirds inducting them because Michael Hayes inducted the Von Erich family. So if you're going to have the Freebirds going, all 3 of them, Roberts, Hayes, and Gordy, you got to have Kevin Von Erich because he's the only one left. God bless the Von Erichs. Induct him.
Okay.
And the Freebirds were the first to use rock and roll style music on a full-time basis.
Yeah. In the modern era.
Yeah, I mean, you had Gorgeous George using Pomp and Circumstance. You had an occasional music thing here, like Flair using 2001: A Space Odyssey song. But full-time, every single night, having rock and roll music, their own music at that, were the Freebirds.
Okay. Number 8, Eric Bischoff to be inducted by Hulk Hogan.
Yes, I agree with that. And again, we talked about the whole rivalry and putting him out of business. But again, you said it yourself. Vince McMahon forgave Bischoff enough to give him a long-term, longest reigning GM in Raw history job. So, you can't ignore what Bischoff did. Yes, there was some serious fallities at the end of the day. But you cannot ignore the success of Eric Bischoff as a promoter. At
the end of the day, Vince respected Bischoff because Bischoff was basically trying to do to Vince what Vince did to the territories.
Exactly.
He saw a lot of himself in Bischoff.
And he almost succeeded.
Yeah.
To the point where I was rooting for the alliance against Team WWF in 2001. Okay, it's like I wanted the WWF to go away for a while and have WCW rule the wrestling world. That's how much Bischoff impacted everything.
Speaking of the alliance, number 7, Paul Heyman to be inducted by Tommy Dreamer.
Okay, I agree with that. And if not Tommy, then Joey Styles. One of those 2.
It has to be Tommy because Tommy was the heart and the soul, the blood, sweat, and tears of ECW.
And maybe both because Joey was the voice. So.
Joey was the voice, but Tommy was the heart.
You had 3 people induct Eddie Guerrero.
This is true.
So I would say if you're gonna somebody the caliber of Paul Heyman, arguably the greatest manager of all time. He managed the end of the streak for Christ's sake. Let's not discount that either.
Took a Paul Heyman guy to end. Paul Heyman guy.
Exactly. That's a great meme, by the way. Whoever did that. More than one induction because Joey can talk about the business side of it and having him running and going back, and Tommy can talk about the personal side of Paul too.
Okay, so who would you have for the 3rd then if you're comparing it to Eddie? Taz? Get him on loan from TNA?
If he's still with TNA by then. let's keep that in mind.
Well, as we're filming this, he is, so let's just assume.
Okay.
Would you get Taz on loan from TNA?
Either Taz...
Arguably the biggest champion they had?
Maybe. What would be really awesome if they could do it, because I don't know how much your phone's going back and crazy.
It happens.
It happens. I'm not sure if they could get him, but what would be great is get the franchise of ECW.
Shane Douglas.
A Shane Douglas inductor speech. Think about that for a minute, shall we?
Yeah. Or Raven.
Oh my God, yes. Oh,
all right. Now that the ECW fanboys have wet themselves.
Exactly, yes, including me, Lordy.
Number 6, the Hollywood Blondes to be inducted by Ricky Steamboat.
Yes. And again, Shane Douglas to be in that induction too.
That's why I left him out of that, because it's like, I can't see him doing it.
No.
Personally, that's why I just left it at Ricky, because Ricky's who they beat for the title.
I agree with that, but just the imagination is all. But yeah, the Blondes, only so because let's be honest, and I have always loved, I will always love Brian Pillman. He's not going to get there by himself.
I completely agree. He had his shot to get in there with the Horsemen. They didn't induct his version of the Horsemen.
No, and it was so short-lived that he was a Horseman.
Yeah. They're not going to induct the 97 Hard Foundation.
No.
So the Blondes is his only real way in.
Yep. And the Blondes were...
And the Blondes will get Austin in there twice Just like Flair's in there twice. Just like Hogan is more than likely going to be in there twice because we know the NWO is going in at some point.
Yep. And let's be honest, the 96 and beyond era notwithstanding, because there were some good tag teams in that time, the Blondes were the best tag team WCW had from the minute they formed in 88 until the NWO's angle started.
Yeah.
Because you had the Steiners, you had Harlem Heat, you had the Outsiders, you had teams like that, the Faces of Fear, but before the NWO angle really kicked into high gear, the Blondes were the tag team of the 90s.
Speaking of tag teams, number 5, the Steiner brothers to be inducted by Harlem Heat.
I would say the Steiners deserve it. I don't think both of Harlem Heat should be inducted because Stevie Ray's speech was boring.
Well, that's why you have Booker up there too, because Booker will bring the charisma and help reel him in some. But you think the Steiners, you think who else was another big team in WCW at that time, you know, going against them, and go to Harlem Heat.
Yeah. And if not Harlem Heat, then Kevin Nash.
Because again, I don't care for Scotty personally. I don't know if Scotty has done enough to deserve a Hall of Fame by himself, but I know Ricky hasn't.
I think Scott's done more than Rick.
Scott has done more, but does he still deserve his own spot in the Hall of Fame?
I'm not saying he does. What I'm saying, if we're going to do side-by-side comparison, which one would over the other, it would be Scott. Neither one of them deserve on their own.
Okay, that was my point.
Yeah, they're much more of a tag team commodity in the Hall of Fame than would be Scott or Rick Steiner by themselves.
And they have to come out wearing the old Michigan Letterman jackets.
And Rick has to wear the headgear.
Yes.
Has to.
Well, no, let him have it in his pocket.
Oh, okay.
You know, kind of like, as sad as it is now, when Warrior gave his final speech on Ron, he had the mask in the pocket.
There you go. Yeah.
Let him have it in the pocket, and, you know, and come out there looking respectable. And then right before the end of their speech or whatever, he finds it and straps it on real quick, and then he cuts like a dog-faced gremlin promo. And
which is always scary.
Number 4, Owen Hart to be inducted by Bret.
This has to happen.
They've made amends. You know, they've settled the lawsuit with Martha. They need to just let it happen. At this point, they really don't even need Martha's permission anymore.
No.
So they can just give her a big fuck you and do it anyways, but I know that's not Vince or Hunter's style.
Not anymore.
You know, they need to just let it happen.
Yeah, and okay, now, Bret inducts him, who accepts then, because if Martha doesn't want to come to the ceremony, which she probably won't.
One of the kids?
Which she won't let them, because they're still young enough where it won't happen. I would say
let Natalya induct and
Bret accept, something like that, or Tyson and Natalya, something like that, where one of the younger ones inducts and Bret accepts. Because Lord knows Bret can talk a streak about Owen for days.
Yeah.
So he can do a great acceptance speech.
Or let Austin induct him and Bret accept.
Ooh, I like that. There you go.
If we can't get Martha to show up, to just accept the award and be done with it.
Right.
Number 3, The Undertaker to be inducted by Mick Foley.
Not Kane?
No.
Why not Kane?
Kane's been up there too much, I think.
He inducted Pete Rose. He inducted Percy. Okay. Yeah, has Mick inducted anybody? Has Mick been an inductor yet?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't think he has.
And arguably the match that Taker is going to be remembered for, aside from the streak losing, is going to be Hell in a Cell.
Both of them. It's Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley. So.
And Foley was just the bigger rival out of those two.
Yeah. Okay.
Boiler Room Brawls.
Hell in a Cells. In Your Houses. Buried Alive. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. And plus, Mick could talk with Undertaker forever.
Yeah.
Not get, none of us get bored.
And Kane's another one of those with that like monotone voice, like no real influx of emotion.
His one for Percy was pretty good though.
Haven't seen it.
Well, there's also comedy to it because he had to cut off T to do it. It was still pretty funny, but it was good.
Number 2, Miss Elizabeth to be inducted by all the divas.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. This one is long overdue. I'm sure number 1 you're going to say is also long overdue. And they have to be in the same year.
Yes.
So,
Just go ahead and jump to it. Number 1 is Randy to be inducted by his brother, the Genius.
Accepted by the Genius. Inducted by Vince. Or inducted by Hogan and accepted by the Genius or something.
Is Angelo still alive?
No, Angelo passed away. So, if anybody should induct Randy Savage, it's one of 2 people, Vince McMahon or Hulk Hogan. I firmly
There
believe
was
it.
so much bad blood between the 2 of them, though.
But Hogan and Randy made peace a long time ago.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was something I didn't know.
Yeah, they made peace. Just like Hogan and Warrior made peace over the weekend at WrestleMania, and they were able to come to friendly terms, thank God.
Yeah.
Hogan and Randy finally made peace. So I would say Hogan inducts and Lanny accepts. Granted, it'll upstage Lanny because it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But do you have Hulk Hogan accept Randy Savage's inductions? No, you have him induct. Because Vince...
Does Savage have any kids?
Don't think so. I don't think he was ever had any kids, and he was too old for the other girlfriends by then. So, if Vince isn't going to do it for anybody but Austin or Undertaker, then it needs to be Hogan, his greatest rival, over 2 companies.
Fair enough.
Okay. Great, I'm going to try to get Hogan more TV time because Lord knows you don't need it. But let's be real. Randy Savage's greatest rival was either Hulk Hogan or Nate. Because Flair can talk for days.
Yeah, we know.
I was there.
Flair, who almost got Piper fucking divorced.
I know, alright, we were watching that shit the other night. Lordy.
So anyways, that is our 10 people that we would put in the Hall of Fame that aren't in there already.
And as well as we should take out, yes.
And yes, you're going to have your John Cena's, your Randy Ortons go in there somewhere down the road.
But those are given.
As long as they don't pull a Benoit.
But those are given. These are ones that aren't in that we feel already should be.
Yeah. Especially when you've got guys like Coco Beware's, Drew
Hacksaw.
Carey's, Hacksaws, yeah.
I love Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He was a WCW US champion. And he won the first Royal Rumble. Congratulations. Why are you in the WWE Hall of Fame? No Hacksaw.
So.
Alright.
Who did we leave out that deserves a spot that's not in there already that you would put in? And who would you have them induct?
And it better be a good one if we're going to include a comment on a future show.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to include bullshit. No.
I'm surprised you didn't jump on putting Rude in and taking Coco Beware out. And instead you took Honky Tonk.
Well,
because I know you're always fighting for Rude.
I like Rick Rude more than I like Honky Tonk Man overall, but you know what? It bothers me. As much as I dislike Honky on a personal level because of all the shit he gave us over the years, not you, us, but me, us, and the XMV, us. Honky had to sit there and induct Coco Beware. When Coco doesn't fucking deserve over Honky Tonk himself. Honky Tonk is not the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time like he claims he is. He is the longest running, which speaks volumes. And he had to lose a 30-second something match to the Warrior to lose the belt. After beating Ricky Steamboat for the title. Come on. Honky deserves it more than Coco Beware does. And the fact he had to be the one to induct him was bullshit.
It wasn't bullshit?
No, it wasn't bullshit, because bullshit would be Honky inducting, like, you know, the Genius or something, you know, or, you know, something that's, way down on the bottom tier somewhere. But, you know, just no. Honky deserves it, and I would put him in over Rude, because Honky had more of a lasting impact on the WWF.
Okay.
I would induct Rude, don't get me wrong, but if I have to make a choice, I'd choose Honky.
Because I know that was one of the ones that you sent me, and he's one you're always fighting for, when I'm just like, never really cared for it.
Well, but you also, even stuff you've seen in the past hasn't grabbed you.
Yeah.
Had you been watching when he was the lead heel in WCW and the lead of the Industry Alliance besides Paulie, your opinion might be changed.
Maybe.
Anyway, we're rambling at the end of the show here as we always do.
So again, who would you put in, who would you have induct them, and make it good?
Please.
Till then, I'm the Renegade.
I am Jeff Meacham.
And we will see you next time.